get their coffees and we'll get ready. Thank you. Thanks to you all for being here today. I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
Or as good as it could be in some cases.
I just want to thank Sandor for the sermon that he wrote today. Remember, English is not their first language. But that's extra work on their part, so we really appreciate that.
All right, so I'm just going to open the floor and I'll come to you with a microphone, and they have their microphone, and we will just open the floor for questions. And if you have any questions for us, you're welcome to ask those as well. Yes, Becky.
If you haven't been to America before, why is your English so good?
Because we had some guests from the US. We have to exercise.
But your English was also very good before we ever met you.
So the true story was that we started to learn English in school. But as you know, in school you cannot learn a language, any language. So, and we started to be interpreters for people who came from the US to different congregations, to different communities. And we accepted to be interpreters with dictionaries in our pocket and with a lot of struggling and a lot of searching and so, you know, and that's how we arrived on this level.
On that same note, on that very same note, I've noticed that not only do you speak English well, but your choice of words are terrific. I mean, they express exactly what you mean. It's not simple English, it's quite complex actually. It's lovely.
Thank you very much. Well, unfortunately, we don't get to use the language too much, except when we are usually we keep in touch by email, so we don't have to speak it. And we forgot a lot. So we had a few days to just get back in it again.
I understand that you serve more than one church. Could you tell us how all that works, how many churches, and give us a little bit of information about them?
Okay, I have one church, but two communities. So I have a sermon twice on every Sunday in every community because there is two different villages next to each other. So I go there on every Sunday at 10:30, and the way come back, I start the second from 12 o'clock. So those two are my congregations.
In total, I have 3 churches and buildings and 3 congregations. One of them, the main, is a partner with Eliot, it's Nyárádszentmárton, and there is a smaller congregation right next to this village with only 12 people, 12 Unitarians. We don't have Sunday services there. the people who would like to attend the services come to Sandmárton. And there is another village in the neighborhood, only 5 minutes away from Sandmárton, that has about 90 Lutheran. And they have a small church, and we have Sunday services each Sunday there too. So I start at 10 in this smaller church, and from 11 we start the Sunday service at 7.
So I have a question. How many animals do you have, and who is watching them while you're here?
What should we start with?
Go.
Geese. We don't have geese at the moment. We had 25, but the custom there is that we slaughter them until at the 11th of November. This is Saint Martin's Day. And the custom, the tradition is that the geese must be slaughtered until that date. So we do that. Usually we had 25 geese this year. Besides geese, we have chicken, we have 4 rabbits, we have about, I'm not sure of their number, but about 30 goats, mother goats, and there are some from this year, younger ones. That's why I'm not sure of the number. Our children would know by name. Almost all of them. Then we have almost 2-year-old cow, typical Hungarian breed. It's called Hungarian Grey. You can find it. Look after it. You can find it and find pictures of it. It's a very beautiful breed of cow with. And then we had when we came here last week, we had 2 cats. Unfortunately, the younger one was hit by a car a few days ago, and our younger son was very sad about it. It's an unfortunate thing. So we are left with 1 cat, and we have 5 dogs. 5. That would be about our animals. And yes, our children are taking care of them.
When we visited Transylvania, it seemed to me that the congregation made us feel so welcome, and it felt to me like meeting our extended family. And I wonder what comments you have heard from the folks there of what their sense is of our relationship with them.
I think that so what we heard is that the people are very glad to have you there and to have every group from the US in Transylvania, because the people appreciate very much your help, and they think and we think that we can thank this by the way you are welcome anytime in Transylvania. So we try to do and to give our best to the guests, as you do, we know. and I think this exchange that's it's the most beautiful part of our friendship and brothership and sistership. So
Yes, when you arrive to us as our guests, we always welcome you as members of our family. You become members of our family for the whole time you are spending in our homes, in our community. That's something that is pretty natural and normal. So you are always welcome.
I wanted to ask, can you hear me? No.
Misinformation. I was told it was on. So I wanted to ask about the robe that you two wear, and I know you have two robes. I saw pictures, you have one at home. And also about the significance and the tradition, and also, Sandor, about your jacket, which is, I'm wondering if you show up in that jacket any place, people will know you're a minister? Or is that just beautiful jacket from Transylvania?
Well, about the jacket, I can't tell you too much of the things they are doing when they are making it. I'm not the man who would explain you these kind of things, the works, but she can. So I will let her do that. No, they won't. The people in Transylvania, when they see me dressed up like this, they won't think that I'm a minister from these clothes. It's a traditional Hungarian clothing that people wear, but not just ministers. From where people would know that I'm a minister is the robe. So we actually have two same kind of robes. We brought only one because of the space we needed. Baggage. And we have some older ones. These ones were made by the organization of the Unitary Ministers in Transylvania for each minister 7 years ago. In 2018 was this program started when we celebrated 450 years of Unitarianism in Transylvania. And now my wife with all the details.
I can't say so many details, but what I can say that is a jacket and the whole dress. It's called bocskai dress, named after a Transylvanian princeps. And in the past, this kind of wearing was for the wealthy and people in Transylvania and Hungary, and it was the wearing for special occasions, so for parties and holidays and this kind of happenings. Now, of course, it's still a wearing for special occasions. So on usually Tuesday, he won't go with this kind of jacket. But now people wear it because they like the design or the symbols and everything. So it's it's affordable for everyone, so it's not so. And who likes it can wear it, of course.
Sean, tell me what the insignia is. I asked you, the insignia on your tie, yes.
This is the symbol of the Hungarian Unitarian Church. And you can see the crown here because when it was born, it was in those times when every symbol had to have their similarities like a crown, because under the princeps of Transylvania was born this church, this religion. So it symbolizes this. But inside, on a hill, stays a dove, and around there is a snake who is biting his tail. So the meaning, the message comes from the Jesus teaching that be wise as a snake and humble as the dove. So this is I think the most important message for us, for the Unitarians in Transylvania, in Hungary, because be wise and be humble in the same times. In same time is sometimes difficult, but we have our level to grow to that.
Yeah. So I'm curious, what have you been most surprised by or maybe impressed by here? Something you weren't expecting, and just as you've traveled around St. Louis for the last week?
Well, many things were impressive during the last week. We saw and visited many wonderful places. We saw many things that we can see, for example, Romania and Transylvania. I don't know what.
I know. So for me, there wasn't so big surprises. So just little ones, like seeing people in this cold weather walking in slips and in shorts. So it surprised me. Or another thing, what surprised me that you leave your credit card to take from you. It surprised me.
You're ahead there.
I remembered something. It was a huge surprise for me. I didn't think that I have to come so many miles away and here to the States to go to dance. That was a surprise for me. Going dancing.
It was country dancing on Friday.
I don't really dance.
And it was a surprise for me seeing him dancing.
As a follow-up to that, I was going to ask about all the different activities you did this week and which ones stand out. And in particular, I'd like to hear about your farm trip yesterday.
So all of the activities was wonderful, and I think now at this moment we cannot choose one. I think we have some. We need some more time to realize and to. And about yesterday, the farm visiting was very nice, very wonderful. It was said that the weather wasn't by our side, so it was a rainy day, but we tasted 10 different kinds of cheese. So and we saw and we saw an American farm, so with Jersey cows, with cool cows, so it was cool.
Yes, about the farm, I can't tell too many things either. I think for the first, to answer the first part of the question, the main thing is that we managed to experience, not just to see things. So we could hear, or if we searched out, we could see many pictures and descriptions of different things that you have here in the city, in St. Louis. But seeing that, being there actually is a different thing. And I think not just with the buildings or different places, it's the experience, real-time experience is the main importance, the most important.
Could you tell us about the bread program? And what is so important, what makes it so significant for your community?
Yes, so the bread program has, as far as I know, started exactly 25 years ago between the two churches. It was always funded by Eliot Chapel, and the members of the bread program are people who retired, so who got to the age of 65. That's the age of retirement in Transylvania. Besides them, there are included in this program those people, members of our congregation, of our community, who have disabilities, who have different kind of
Life challenges.
yes, and illnesses, sicknesses that are very hard. And we also included in the last 10 years those children who don't have parents, or they only have one of their parents, and it's a kind of helping them a little bit. So this is the membership of the bread program. Each Saturday, people are getting a bread, and on holidays they have collage. We call it collage. It's a cake that is made by bakeries, also traditional ones, and each person gets cake on the Saturday before the holidays. Besides the fact that it's a great help for many of, especially the old people in our community, it strengthens many bonds between people. For example, there are many old members of this bread program who cannot walk too much, and their neighbors bring them the bread each Saturday, and so that way they can just meet and talk to each other. And another example I would like to share with you is with that we have done and experienced in 2020 during the pandemic period, when there were restrictions in Transylvania to people couldn't go out at any time and just walk on the streets. So this was a kind of problem for the bread program members, because they couldn't go to there are two places where they can pick up their bread each Saturday. They regularly and usually go there and pick up the bread. In those months when these restrictions were there, we have organized in a special way for the members of the bread program getting their breads. My wife Zsuzsa with one car and at least one of our children, and me with another car with the other children. There were a few other young people, volunteers who came to help us. We were picking up the bread from the 2 points where they were left and take to the people. So they didn't have to come out from their homes. They just hanged something we could put the bread in and to their gates, and we all have gates in Transylvania, and we took the bread to their gates, and we just waved to each other. They were inside, we were outside, and had a short conversation with almost all of them. They were waiting for this, and because we couldn't have church services during that time, we printed out the sermons for each sermons and prayers for each Sunday, and we delivered those also along with the bread. And that was another way of staying in touch with people, especially with older people.
I was. I don't. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't.
And then
know that.
Charlotte, and then you.
I didn't see that. That's okay.
I was going to ask, how common is it for women ministers in Transylvania, and if that's new, or if that's if it goes back some time?
Okay, so the women ministry in Romania, Transylvania started in 50s, I think, 1950s. And then were two ladies who get the permission to have the seminary, but they didn't get churches. So they had to live as wives or as organists in the churches. And after that, under the communism, there was a big pause. There was a big pause when women didn't go to the seminary, and the first women ministers started their ministry in 1995. So one of my minister was not the first, but I think the most important for me was she who started her ministry in 1995, and slowly, but it gets better and better. Yes, thank you. And when I went to seminary, we had to have an exam, but those exam was for. So there was 3 places for boys, 1 place for a girl, and 1 place for a second. So for a student who already finished a university, another university. So that's how I got to the seminary. But after a few years, it changed. Thanks God that now there is no restriction about boys and girls and this way. So and it's sometimes it's hard. I think harder than for men because the communities are already in the past, and sometimes they don't accept women, and it's not so loud, but you can feel it in the back. So so it's you can feel that it's not. So they don't say in your face, but you can feel that you should search for another place because you are a woman and we would like to have a man minister who can speak loudly and strong and wise and
Okay, this is a question about custom. I noticed that neither of you are wearing rings. And in this country, the custom is when you get married, first of all, you get an engagement ring usually, and then you get a wedding ring. What is the custom in your country?
It's the same. We just grew our rings. We have tried to widen them. I think 2 times, and there is no possibility. So we just leave them in the box.
My question is back to the bread program, but it's also about your community. I have not had the pleasure to visit you yet, but how many people are involved in the bread program usually? I mean, generally, and how many people live in your village? I know there are other villages you serve.
Yes, since this partnership is with Nyárádszentmárton, the members of the bread program are from that congregation only, and in the last 10 years, so we are in Nyárádszentmárton. We live there. We got there in 2014, so that's the period I can talk about. In these 10-11 years, usually there were between 60 and 65 members a year. 60, I think 64. We have started 64 in 2000.
Getting bread?
Are there any like fun crafts that you've done that you're thinking about maybe showing other people in Transylvania?
The first part?
Are there any fun crafts? Craft is like making things or embroidery or
they've done here or done in Transylvania.
or that you've done here?
No, they want you
Actually, I have one from that. But yes, we have. We have a lot. I don't know if those are typical Transylvanians, but we still. And we like to do this kind of things, and children in Transylvania like to do this kind of things. So we try to do it at the religion education or in the Sunday school when we have, or in the summer camp for the children. So.
Hi, I know you. I've enjoyed being on Facebook and watching you on Facebook. I invite you to join us. It's a fun party. You can hit translation anytime. I was wondering if you could explain why I see you in big meetings in Budapest. Why are you in big meetings?
Okay, so because I have two little congregation, I had to search for an extra job, as I can say, but it's not an extra job. Extra job is that I am co-worker for the charity organization. So for the Providence Charity Organization in Transylvania, and I'm in the board of that organization. And another way, I am the president of the Ministers Alliance Association, Ministers Association. So we are taking care of, trying to take care of our ministers in different ways. So we organize different kind of events and programs for the ministers, and we try to help each other in this way. We share our values and our programs and our struggles, of course. So that's why I am on that meetings.
I have like a three-part question, but it's kind of one big question. The first part is I'm wondering if there are a lot of Unitarians there, or is it a small minority in Transylvania? And I'm also wondering what other denominations or religions are there, and do all the denominations get along with each other?
Okay, so we are minority. And according to, so the biggest church, the biggest religion in Romania is the Orthodox Church, because most of the Romanian people are attending the Orthodox Church. And in Hungarian part, at the Hungarian side, we have the Catholics. So the Roman Catholic is the biggest church in Transylvania. After that, the Calvinist Church. After that, the Unitarian Church. And after that, the Lutheran Church. So those are the historical churches, and we have the new Protestants too. So we have the Baptists, we have the Seventh-day Adventists, we have Jehovah's Witnesses. So we have a lot of, because Transylvania is a very colorful region in the past too, and and now the same. So we have all kind of people, and that's good.
I'm just curious on a personal note, what part of the country of Transylvania were you each raised in, and how did you meet?
There is Sandmárton, the village and congregation we live in now. And starting from them in two different directions, you move at about the same distance, and there are the places we were born. I was born in another river's valley, in the Kukula Valley. So this is Nyárad Valley, where Sandmárton is, our village, and I was born about 80-90 kilometers from there. And my wife was born in the other direction, towards southwest, in another valley, the Homorod Valley. That's about 100 kilometers from Sandmárton. So we live kind of in the middle from the both, from these two places. And how we met at the young people's meeting. There was how do you call that? Reciting poems and singing contest that was organized each year by the David Ferenc Youth Organization. That's the Transylvanian and Hungarian Churches Youth Organization, and it was organized in each February in those times, and that's where we met for the first time.
How long ago was this?
Excuse me?
How long ago was it?
That was 22 years ago. February will be 23.
I wanted to ask, we a long time ago at this church had an intern minister, Sandor Sandor. His last name was Sandor. I wonder if you know him and if he's still active in the ministry.
Our church's minister was Varga Sándor before we got to this church. He moved to another congregation in 2014, starting January, but he was still serving back to this congregation. He moved not too far away. It was the last 2 years before retirement in his career as a minister, and he, until August in 2014, he just served back, gave services to Szentmárton also. Sandor Szilárd is still active. He is one of our neighbors. He used to be, and he is still. I'm saying this because he was in the other congregation not too far away. It's about 3-4 kilometers from Nyárádszentmárton. It's called Jobbágyfalva and Nyárádszentmárton. Those who were there visiting us maybe remember the places. And he used to be a minister there. I don't know, 4 years ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago, he moved a little bit further to the western part of Szentmárton. He serves at about 10 minutes drive from Szentmárton, and he's still active, yes.
Do you have any questions for us?
Tell me, why do you like us, Transylvanian Unitarians? Not personally, of course. Why do you like Transylvanian Unitarians?
I feel your devotion and your dedication to Unitarianism and to the people that you're serving. What I know of Transylvania is from people who have been there, and I know it's a rural congregation, a rural area with many people that otherwise would not have people like you to inspire them and to communicate with them. Make a community of the people that are there.
So, as a rarity, I was born into a Unitarian family that goes back many, many, many generations. And it's always been a big part of who I am. And I really appreciate having the opportunity to reach out and have a connection to another country that has the same traditions and being Unitarians together and seeing that in a greater part of the world, because
my knowledge was always New England, where I grew up, and it's nice to see it beyond the shores of our country.
Beautiful.
Like to weigh in.
Well, I got to come visit you guys in 2016, and I will say that I love the people of Transylvania because you guys were so welcoming, and as Janice alluded to, it felt like family. As soon as we got off that bus, you guys, it was so comfortable, which I think we were all a little bit nervous getting off the bus, meeting a whole bunch of strangers, and it didn't feel like that at all. And the language barrier wasn't much of a barrier. You guys were so welcoming, and you fed us really well. So much food, and dancing and entertainment, and going out into the field and cooking food over the fire and dancing. Yeah, we did dancing when we came to you guys. But yes, it was. I was really surprised at how comfortable it was immediately, and you guys were so gracious and welcoming, and it really we all cried as we drove away because it really was like leaving family.
And for me, it's the word that always came up in "Let's go to Transylvania" in the many years I've been coming here. I like the word pilgrimage because it is, to serve as pilgrimage to see the history of where we come from. So it was important to me to know my roots.
Lots of you. Going with today's theme and this month's theme of gratitude, Transylvania represents the beginning of Unitarianism. And when we get together and talk about what Eliot means, it's the community. If it hadn't been for Transylvania being the birthplace of Unitarianism, we might be missing out on a lot of freedoms in religion for us.
I've not had the pleasure to visit your country, but I hope to be a part of that one of those pilgrimages. But what I really love is having you all here from so far away, and yet there are so many wonderful connections. And you're a caring community who believes in justice, as do we. And I love finding that commonality in people all over. So thank you.
Yay.
I'm aware of your, I would say, political and religious problems as a minority. And I think it's important that we have your back here in America and are aware of the issues.
I don't have a follow-up.
Well, maybe it's time for the gift giving then. Who has our gifts?
They're on the bench.
No, our gifts to them. Who has our gifts to them? You have one, and I think Carolyn has one. All right, I'm gonna bring the microphone to you.
So I was happy to hear the symbolism talked about. And so this gift has a symbolic gesture, and you may open it. It's for both of you. All in a little package. Oh, just rip it. Rip that bag.
I'm too clumsy for this.
Yeah, there you go. It is the chalice of the Unitarian Universalist.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So a lapel to wear maybe above here or below. Another necklace for you. And on the back of the necklace, it's inscribed Eliot Chapel 2025.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. Thank you very much.
So when we were in Marosvásárhely, they had a banner hanging in their church that really impressed me. It had the dove and snake symbol on one side and a chalice on the other with an ocean between it. And so I got a group of people together as a committee to try to make one for you. So ours is not exactly like theirs, but I'll show it to you. So Clara wanted to put the arch on it. You know, we have an artist, and then we had Lynn was our sort of color consultant. Okay. And so show the other side. Oh, wait a minute, before you switch. We had the congregation one day lay threads on dissolvable fabric, and some of the little kids put a lot of threads. And somebody made a braid, and somebody crocheted something, and anyhow, and then we sewed them all together and dissolved the fabric, and that's our river. Okay, now flip it over. And so this is your church and our church with a small ocean between.
Thank you very much.
Yes? What second what?
Second.
Oh, it's on both sides. Both sides.
No, you're making a second.
Oh, I am doing a similar weaving to hang here at Eliot Chapel. Oh, and if you need to iron it or something, here's a piece of the fabric you can try the iron out on.
Thank you.